Hello guys, today I will be showing you how to be the best storm chaser on the game Twisted, in Roblox. We'll show the steps of pre-storm, mid-storm, post-storm, and how to read cape, 3 cape, dew point, and more. Let's get going. Now when you open up Twisted, you'll see a screen like this. To the left you'll see servers with colored letters under them. I am playing during an event, so there are a lot of highs. Wait, but what are all the others though? Well, SPC. Storm Prediction Center says, TSTM or thunderstorms means, no severe thunderstorms expected. MRGL or marginal is, isolated severe thunderstorms possible, and those are, limited in duration and or coverage and or intensity. SLGT or slight is, scattered severe thunderstorms possible, and, short-lived and or not widespread, isolated intense storms are possible. ENH or enhanced is, numerous severe storms possible, and, more persistent and or widespread, a few are intense. MDT or moderate means, widespread severe storms likely, and are, long-lived, widespread and intense. High is, widespread severe storms expected, and are, long-lived, very widespread and particularly intense. Also, NWS National Weather Service defines a severe thunderstorm as measured wind gusts to at least 58 miles per hour, and or hail to at least 1 inch in diameter, and or a tornado. All thunderstorm categories imply lightning and the potential for flooding. Categories are also tied to the probability of a severe weather event within 25 miles of your location. I got all of this info from weather.gov and you can go and read more about it. But for now stay with me. So from what we learned, try to find a one that says something close to high for all days, but the probability of that is low, so at least try to find one MDT. Where you want to spawn is simple but useful. Now you usually want to spawn at Prior Lake in the 8/12ths. Now if you see a triangle on the map, maybe try to spawn near there. We'll get to that later though. Now you have spawned and press the button at the top of your screen that has a car icon on it. If you are a starter you are constrained to one car, but there is a car that you should buy second and is really cheap. It's called the Navarra Territory Scout. Then you can save buy from the warehouse with really expensive and great cars with high wind resistance. Now with your car you can get probes. They are in the warehouse and all give the same money, just different prices. I might be wrong on that one though. When you buy probes you can press a plus button next to your car's name. Also you can attach a mesonet at a repair shop, and it's like a car mounted probe and gives the same money, you just have to drive. Thermodynamics is one of the hardest parts of pre-storm prep. To find thermodynamics you press the button with the sun icon at the top of your screen. It will show lots of statistics and a graph. I will be going over all the statistics of the panel except the graph because it is super complicated. First, temperature is the heat in the atmosphere, and for supercells to form there has to be a high temperature to create updraft. Cape/convective available potential energy is how much potential energy is in the atmosphere to develop storms and is measured in joules per kilogram. Usually 1500 joules per kilogram or higher allows storms to intensify. Lapse is the rate temperature lowers at every kilometer and is measured in Celsius per kilometer. Normally a lapse rate of 6.5 degrees per kilometer or higher allows storm growth, and the higher it is the better growth of a storm, the more hail and lightning, and larger hail. PWAT is precipitable water, and this is to be used right before storms to see how much water is near the surface, and therefore you can determine visibility and humidity. Precipitable water is measured in any length measurement, in this case inches. Also, if there is a higher PWAT you won't have a good visibility and a very humid environment. Surface RH is surface relative humidity and compares moisture in the air to moisture that is held to the ground by air. The higher amounts 60% plus are important for developing storms and intensifying storms because supercells need warm air caused by moisture existing to rise up to sustain and intensify. 700 to 500 millibar relative humidity, which monitors the same thing as surface RH but in the middle levels of the atmosphere. This is important for the development of thunderstorms, and for a good storm you'll want 60% or more. SRH or storm relative helicity is the amount of air spinning in a storm and is the main force behind tornadoes. Also, values of 250 meters squared per second squared or more are generally good for tornadoes. 3 CAPE is potential energy in the closest 3 kilometers of the atmosphere and is more likely to produce tornadoes. An amount of 100 joules or more is signaling tornadic development to come. Finally, dew point is what temperature air saturates with moisture, which is important for storm development. A higher dew point signaling more moisture in the air and help the storm develop. A high dew point is 55 degrees Fahrenheit. If it were to be lower, then it would be too dry. Now, you're going to have to check your radar. You're going to press the button on the top of your screen with the radar icon to enter it. You're going to see on the radar 2 clickable things, one saying KHZL and one saying THIB. Click KHZL for better results because it is a longer range radar. You're going to wait. For a while, you'll see a blob of blue, green and maybe even yellow. That is an early storm. Now read the thermodynamics and see if this is a good storm. If not, wait more, until another storm forms. But if it is good, then wait until it has a part reaching out, a tail cloud or cumulonimbus cauda, which is another sign it'll be a severe thunderstorm, and also 90% of the time there will be a tornado there. To see if a tornado is there, wait a minute, then switch to base velocity, which is by the legend of the radar. If there is rotation starting, then you'll see a dot of red in the middle of the tail cloud. When you see the rotation sign, 2 arrows facing each other, you can grab the measurement tool on the lower right corner of your screen with a ruler icon on it. Press on the rotation, then see which direction the storm is going. Then go 4 to 5 miles out in that direction on the radar. Then round to the nearest road. That's where you're going, most likely temporarily. Now if you spawned with a triangle on radar near you, that's a tornado. So quickly check everything and you can go if it's good. Also, the triangle is TV's or tornadic vortex signature, not linked to enhanced Fujita scale, and goes from worst winds to best winds. Green, yellow, orange, red, and pink. Pink being the highest winds. Now you are going to get your car and drive to your mark you made on your map. Okay, so when you're there, check your radar and see if there is a trapezoid on it. Then you'll go to the widest spot on it in the middle. Then when you're there, you can get out and look in your inventory to see the probes you bought, and then press on one of them and press on the ground below, and do that placing process until you see no probes in your inventory. Last, you'll get in your car and press the parking brake button on the bottom right corner of the screen, or if your car is deployable, then deploy it, and wait. The storm will come to you, but if the tornado's trajectory, its trapezoid changes, then undeploy and adjust, but get the probes first. Finally, after your intercept, you can grab your probes if you didn't lose them and either return to